find yourself struggling with change? Do you find sometimes it's hard to embrace something new and you like things to stay the same? Well, if you do, you're not alone. We all do. And although our tolerance for uncertainty varies, as human beings, we're hardwired for consistency and predictability. We like to know what to expect and how things are going to happen. But we live in a world of constant change. And it's through our ability to navigate that constant change that we can find the stability, the balance that we seek. And in this video, I want to talk about the importance of cultivating your own personal change readiness, how that can help you gain more stability in a world of constant change, how it can help you feel a sense of control when you feel like you have none, and how it can help your health and well-being. Most of us have heard that people resist change. There's a common misperception that we as people resist change. And although it's true that we are wired for consistency and predictability, we're also hardwired for change. Just think for a moment and write in the comment section, how many changes have you consciously made in your life or you're working on now? This year, my mom celebrated her 84th birthday. She's always been a strong and resilient woman. As we reflected over her birthday, she has seen so many changes in her lifetime. Some of them were welcomed, like the birth of her children and color TV. And others were not welcomed, like the death of her husband and some health events. Yet, consistently, she moved through change with a sense of grace and stability that I always admired. And one reason for that was her perspective about change. She's always viewed change as something that needed to be moved through. She always has had the perspective that change is not meant to be a barrier to stop her, but a path that she needs to travel. Ian Percy, author of Exploring Spirituality, Going Deep in Life and Leadership, wrote that sometimes people make an enemy of change because it becomes an obstacle to be overcome, instead something we need to move through. And that's what change is. It is a process and something we need to move through. Change and the constancy of change is our normal state. We live in a world that's always changing. Even if we were to sit and do nothing, we change. Emotionally, physically, intellectually, change is occurring, even when we're not consciously aware of it. The idea that change is something normal and is our normal state is something that we delve deeper into when we're working with employees to help them thrive in a period of constant change. Uncertainty and fear of the unknown are stressful for all of us. Yet it's through change that we can find our stability. That's why exploring and cultivating our personal change readiness is good for our health and our well-being. Now, cultivating our personal change readiness doesn't mean we just passively accept or adopt every change we encounter. Nor does it mean you will never experience unplanned or unwanted, unpleasant changes in your life. We are simply not wired that way, nor do we live in that kind of a world. Cultivating personal change readiness means we begin to understand and work with our natural response to change. It allows us to accept that we can't control every event that happens to us and recognize when and what we can control. Cultivating personal change readiness is a practice, and it takes a level of energy and learning new skills and new techniques to build that readiness for change and to allow us to create the kind of flexibility that's going to enable us to react. I'd like to share with you one technique that I use and I teach my clients to begin cultivating personal change readiness. It's what I call the 5-second pause. Pausing for as little as 5 seconds when you encounter something new, unexpected, or potentially uncomfortable is the space that gives your executive center of the brain time to catch up and process the information. And what I have found and my clients have found is that this in turn generates more options. It gives that sense of calm and allows our executive center to go, what do we do? Instead of that emotional, immediate, unconscious reaction to the event that has a tendency to raise our stress level and sometimes create a situation that we regret. 2 to 5 seconds doesn't sound like a long time, and it really isn't. But consider this. It takes 500 milliseconds longer for information to reach that irrational conscious center of our brain and form a thought and decide on a reaction than it does for our emotional center to react. The speed at which our emotional center operates means that it can register and react to an event before our conscious rational brain is even aware that something has occurred. That's why you can jump out of the way of what you thought was a snake to discover it was just a stick. It's also why this pause is so helpful. When faced with something new or unexpected in your organization and life, try just taking a pause. You might be surprised at how many new options you have before you respond, or how it creates a little window of calm to allow you to reassess the situation, reduce the uncertainty, and lower the stress level. It's just one technique that we teach to leaders and employees for cultivating personal change readiness and enabling them to thrive in a world and in organizations that are filled with constant change. I hope you found the video helpful. And if you would like to learn more about cultivating change readiness, personal change readiness, or your organizational change readiness, connect with me below and let's have a conversation. Bye for now.